comedy has become a legal minefield. Have you ever also joked ever on social media and thereafter thought that can I get into legal trouble for it? Well, in India today, comedy has become a legal minefield. Dark humor, political satire, roasting, parodies. On one hand, they make us laugh, and on the other hand, they probably make us land before the honorable court. Well, in this video, we'll break it down that what is the difference between a criminal insult and a normal humor. Let's exactly know what does our law book has to say about roasting your friend or lampooning a politician. Well, roasting is usually friendly trash talk. It is a form of humor where you make fun of someone's weakness, often on a stage. And on the other hand, satire means humor which is associated to society or politics. However, nothing in our law is labeled as roast, but certainly there is defamation. As per BNS, defamation means that imputation which is intended to harm somebody's reputation, and it is punishable with 2 years of imprisonment along with fine. This sounds crazy, right? But this has one fine exception to it, which is truth and fair comment on public policy or issue. So if you express facts on a public figure or you flag it as an opinion or satire, it is usually safe. On the contrary, if you are singling out a private person and making a lie just to mock them or humor them, then you may be charged with criminal offense. And apart from checking your statement that whether it is based on an opinion or whether it is based on a fact, also check whether your statement is outraging religious feeling or maybe it is evoking communal hatred. Also check that whether your statement has any nudity or obscenity in it, and if yes, try beeping it out because it could attract obscenity laws. Sexual explicit content could always be given with few cautions. One caution could be like I just told you, that beep the explicit word. The other caution is that putting a disclaimer that it is not for the kids or it is not for somebody who is below a certain age. So these kind of cautions may help you broadly. So just to understand this concept a little better, let's look at some real life stories or incidents that has transpired in the recent past. Do you also remember in 2021 when Veer Das expressly told the two Indias joke? It was quote and unquote that I belong to the India which worships women in the day and gang rapes them in the night. Well, politicians were outraged in India after hearing that. Even one BJP politician filed a complaint against Veer Das. It eventually led to no consequence. However, it was a wake-up call for all of us and the content creators that politicians can push the police to act. So there was one more incident where Kunal Kamra made a parody song. In a funny song, he called a top politician as a traitor, and consequences were wild. Shiv Sena-led workers smashed the studio, and later on, complaint was filed against Kunal Kamra for defamation. So even non-political jokes about a politician can end up as a police matter. And I'm sure that we all remember Samir Raina's latest fiasco. One joke made the whole show go vanish. One obscene joke, and Mumbai Cyber Police booked an FIR against Samir Raina. He later clarified that it was in a heat of moment and eventually apologized. 50 people who were linked with the show were summoned. So moral of the story, that one mistimed swear or cuss word and police authorities are involved. So now the question arises that how to stay safe on the stage and off the stage. Well, if you really want to be safe, first prioritize truth and context. If you want to joke about somebody's action, make sure that it is either true or you present it as an exaggeration or your opinion. But remember, exaggeration is not always safe. If a reasonable person find it as an alleged factual allegation, then defamation might be imposed upon you. And the second step that you can do is try not to go on sensitive topics, which can be going on or picking somebody's sexuality, going on their religion, their caste, their creed, their color. Of course, these topics easily steps over the legal lines. And thirdly, you can put disclaimers, tone indicators, or content warning before opening up your set, or maybe you can put a caption saying that this is comedy, or maybe this represents satire. So this might not 100% help you legally, but this will definitely show your intent behind the craft. So fourthly, what you can do is, if you think that your topic is a bit sensitive, you can do editing by sitting with a lawyer. Run past your jokes before a legal expert and see what he has to tell you and do the necessary changes. So finally, I would suggest that also know the platform rules. Whatever thing you do, you should always know the rules and regulations which are governing your field. Under IT Rules 2021, if anybody complains and the government or the police issues a takedown notice against your content, the intermediary, that is the platform upon which you have uploaded the content, will take down your content immediately. So it is always advisable to keep a copy of that content with you, which will help eventually in the legal battle to prove that your content was intended to be satirical. So now let us discuss that what if you get sued or somebody files a complaint against you. Well, firstly, don't panic. Consult a lawyer. If it would be a civil defamation notice, your lawyer would probably draft a polite apology response to that very notice or navigate you around the process. And usually, a small apology resolves such complaints. However, if it is an FIR or a complaint that has been filed against you, you probably have to file for a bail. In such scenarios, courts usually see that whether any reputational harm has really occurred to the complainant or he has just felt offended. If the facts are also right and proper to go for quashment, your lawyer could probably go for a quashment of FIR or the complaint, as the case may be. In today's era, comedy has to read lines between what is funny and what is illegal. Use this knowledge as your shield. Make punchlines. However, also know that when law draws line between what is legal and what is illegal. As the Supreme Court has rightly put it, that free expression is the bedrock of democracy, and it can only be curtailed for the immediate public danger.